Hey everyone, welcome to Open Hybrid, coming to you from Chari Executive Suite. I'm Rhina Valentin, your host of Café con Leche every Friday, and we are kicking off Latinx Heritage Month. Here's what's coming up in today's show. Leading things all, we'll speak to Teaching Brainiacs CEO and founder Priscilla Oquendo about her tutoring services and classes for children and adults heading back to school. After that, we're joined by CEO and founder Melissa Gallardo as she discusses her candle line, Bonita Fierce Candles, and her exciting campaign with Nordstrom. Later on in the show, Bobby C brings us an up-to-date with the latest headlines in the world of sports. And lastly, this week's Open Artist Spotlight shines on dancer, model, and movement artist Haze Kim with a performance at the end of the show. So sit back y prepárate. All this and more is headed your way because now we are officially open. Hey everyone, welcome to Open Hybrid. I'm Rhina Valentin, your host of Café con Leche. For the next hour, coming to you from, of course, Chari Executive Suite. Me and they were still hybrid. And of course, we're inviting you to get social with us online. That is, tweet us and follow us on Instagram at BronxNet TV and like us on Facebook at Open BronxNet Television. And of course, while you're there, follow moi on Twitter, FB, Instagram, Insta Stories, and LinkedIn at Rhina Valentin. So the beginning of the school year is finally here, and our next guest founded her own online tutoring service company designed to help her community, using her passion to create a much needed service to help her students reach their academic goals with over 14 years tutoring children, young adults, and adults alike with services such as homework help, state exam prep, GED prep, one-on-one group classes. She teaches online and in person, and she's here to share more. Please welcome tutor, CEO, and founder of Teaching Brainiacs, Priscilla Oquendo. Hello, welcome.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here, Priscilla. Welcome. I'm so excited to have you on. I just want to share with our viewers that we've known each other for very many years, and it's just lovely when I see how we all continue to evolve and kind of like rotate around each other in whatever form of service. So it's my absolute honor to have you on, especially the way you're servicing our community.
It's amazing because I just bumped into an old video for my birthday. I don't know if you remember with the toilet paper. I found it
Oh my
online.
gosh. Oh, are you talking about Barrio Last at
Yes.
the Freaking Poets Cafe?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, you're going to share that video with me. We're not going to share it with you guys yet. I have to approve it. But here we are, fast forward, I don't know how many years later, you're like, what, 3 kids in, right? You have 3 children.
Yes, I do. 3.
And of course, post-pandemic, at least that's what I'm hoping, in the language that is, because it's like, oh, it's gone, it's not it. But you are teaching online. Let's just start with the beginning. As an educator, what did you specialize in?
I was not officially an educator. I was on and off always tutoring my friends, helping my friends. And then I, dove into different tutoring companies on and off with adults and children. And then my big break was when I became a parent and I decided I needed a remote job at the time because I had some medical conditions. And I bumped into an online company and I started teaching Chinese children, actually.
Tell me about that. You
Yeah.
said you were teaching Chinese children. Good.
Yes. So I did it virtually, just like we learned to and are conditioned now with after what happened. And what I did was I taught them mostly English, and it was like more of a supplemental course. And sometimes I will divulge in teaching them science, math, definitely a little bit of art, history, and culture as well.
So now let's talk about the pandemic and how we all had to like shift, and then there was the blended learning, and then there's the co-workers, right, which would be our children in the space, right? And you have children that are, what are the age ranges?
So I have a 6 all the way up to a 10-year-old that she's going to be 10 next month.
And so did it begin with you teaching them, or how to just walk us through your transition into becoming an official online tutor?
Oh, so yeah. So it's funny because I was going over this journey on my Instagram, but I began the journey a local library tutor, and it was originally named Teacher Priscilla. Then we transitioned into teaching Brainiacs what it is. And during that time, I was just seeing people in the library. They thought I was a librarian for it. And then after that, because of everything that happened, I was already doing some stuff online prior to that, because that's just what I was already doing anyway. But then I officially transitioned to online because of we call it the panini.
The what?
The panini or the panorama.
Oh, I like that we're giving it a different name, the panini.
The panini, the sandwiches,
Like the panini. Oh, like the panini. That's because you're used to working with pre-K and kindergarten, and I get it. It's all good. And now let's talk about this, because you do have a wide range of services that you offer, and especially like different age brackets. I mean, they're pretty extreme. So how do you qualify your services and your students?
Yeah, so I'm unlike any other tutoring service, and that's something I pride myself in, only because I don't do a pre-assessment. I've noticed that a lot of the schooling systems are focused on a lot of assessments and exams, and that I'm not a big fan of personally. So I don't want my company to be that kind of way either. So my assessment is getting to know the student, whether we jibe right, because that's very important when you're learning with someone, especially on a one-on-one basis. And then on top of that, just seeing where they are. Like, this is what your instructors are saying. What I want to see what you can do, and then we move from there.
All right. So here I have that you offer like all the way from pre-K to 8. The one that really stands out for me in math and English as a second language, because you're also a bilingual teacher, which I thought was cool. I was watching some of your videos, and that's important, especially for our community.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So a lot of people don't know because they think I'm a gringa. Let's be real. But I do speak Spanish, so that's how I'm able to cultivate the Latino community in learning English, because we're able to have that kind of the best way to explain it is that connection, that culture, unison.
Right.
Couldn't think of the word.
No, it's okay. I get it. It's authentic, is what you're saying. Is because it's not learned Spanish from books. It's because it's part of your upbringing, and so there's that instantaneous understanding, right? Mm-hmm. And so do you teach in both languages? Like, let's say I would get for English as a second language, yes, but in math, I'm just curious.
As of now, no. That hasn't been something that has been brought up. But if there is a student that I need to translate really quickly, then that's totally not an issue.
So I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. It's just what?
It's just a little different because the terminology is a little different, especially if they're coming from like different cultures, like Santo Domingo, Puerto Rico. They may use different words that I don't know myself. So it's like, but I could show you it with my hand and writing on the board.
Yeah, but also math is its own language. That's why I'm asking. And so
yes, exactly.
I wonder, yeah, it's its own language. And that's another question for you, right? Because I think math is a subject that I think most people need tutoring with. And so what do your programs look like?
Yeah, so I have quite a few things. Like when it comes to one-on-one tutoring, it's very based on the student and the necessities of that child or that adult. But when it comes to the highlight, like I was saying, I would tell everyone the highlight of my company is the free classes that we do. And my thing is, these are young children that we need to cultivate the learning and wanting to learn and go past their fears. So that's why I do 2 cohorts of pre-K to second, which is the math, and then 3rd to 5th. And then that's what I do for that. And that's where we learn like what they're already learning in school, but an added twist because teachers here.
Right. Got it. And then you say you do 2 and then 1 free class?
Yes, I do. And then I also do English as a second language for the adults, because a lot of the adults don't even know what's happening with the teachers and the children, because there's that language barrier, which is why I created that programming. So that's once a month. That's what I offer for the community as my way of giving back every month for the whole year.
So you're a mom and you have 3 children of your own. How do you schedule everything?
That's I have to live off my planner. I have to have everything scheduled. And honestly speaking, this is my 3rd year in business and I'm still navigating that. So I'm definitely by no means anybody perfect, or I'm still learning as I go. I say I'm learning in the process. That's the best way I could say it.
Right. Well, the thing about it is that you would think most children are in school throughout the day. So I guess the bulk of your scheduling would be in the evening, and you have to balance out being a mom. So what are your tutoring service hours?
Yeah, so I transitioned it because like I am actually a homeschooling mom as well. So because of that, I definitely have to have everything scheduled out. So currently I'm having everything in certain seasons. So right now the fall section, I will be 2:30 to 7:30. Those will be my hours that I'm allocating to helping the students. Not
And is that
including
Monday through Friday? Is that Monday through Friday?
Monday to Thursday.
Monday to Thursday. And so you said, I heard you say I'm homeschooling. Was that due to the pandemic as well?
That's part of it. A part of it is just my own educational needs that I wanted to show the children. Because when they're with me, they can actually see what a mom is doing while she's working, which is the beauty of what I do as well, that they're part of it. So technically it's not only, well, I do have a team already of staff, but they're part of my team now because they get to see and mommy's working and, you know, what is she doing? And they get to learn too. So that's awesome.
So which is your favorite subject?
Math.
That's good.
Yes.
That's really good, because I had to ask that because math is the one subject that you have to love in order to really translate it into layman's terms.
Yes.
This because that's the one class that I also pay for a tutor for my daughter, because
Wow.
Yes, because it's important. And I also noticed that you offer the state exam preparations, and while we're not necessarily living that lifestyle of prepping for state exams, it is something that's part of our system. So let's talk about that as well.
And that's an amazing thing that I offer. And that's also free because I offer it on YouTube. I have a state exam prep series that I'm offering help with, like detailed per question, what the DOE exam looks like, what to look forward to. I give test taking strategies, things like that. And on the second note, a lot of times when I'm doing one-on-one tutoring, I kind of sneak in some questions and they don't even know that they're doing it. The same thing with the free classes. I just wanted to mention that's monthly basis. So it's on Saturdays for the most part that I do it. So just to let you guys know about that too.
So in all that you have been doing in servicing our community, what would you like to leave our viewers knowing about just learning?
Learning is fun, and just get the right teacher who has the patience, who is willing to, you know, help you navigate the way you learn, because everyone learns differently, and it should be an experience for not only children but adults to be fun and interactive.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for bringing it here to open, everyone. Priscilla Oquendo, tutor, CEO, and founder of Teaching Brainiacs. And if you guys are interested in some of her services, you can visit her online. She has tutoring services, classes at teachingbrainiacs.com. Once again, that's teachingbrainiacs.com. We do have to take a quick break, but when we return, we'll talk about a new exciting candle line and its campaign with Nordstrom, so you don't want to miss. welcome back. So kicking off Latinx Heritage Month, our next guest is taking the Latin cultura to the next level. She's created her own line of candles dedicated to celebrating her Latina heritage and home. She developed her business during the pandemic after burning candles as a form of self-care and realizing the scents from her upbringing were not represented in the home fragrance industry. She decided to create them herself. Her scents include an ode to the Latino community, such as Cafecito con Leche, Lavender Fabulosa, and Abuela's Bakery, to name a few. And now, well, you can shop her collection at Nordstrom. And here to share more is CEO and founder of Bonita Fierce Candles, Melissa Gallardo. Hello and welcome.
Hello, it's so great to be here. How are you?
I am great. As you can see, with much enthusiasm, we are so looking forward to having this conversation with you.
I am super excited to be here and talk all things Latina, Latinx, candles. It's amazing.
I got to tell you, congratulations first and foremost on getting the Nordstrom account.
Oh, I know. It's been absolutely crazy. We got the Nordstrom account just a few months ago, where we just launched at the end of August, just in time for Latinx Heritage Month. And we've been in business just under 2 years. So it's truly a huge honor to be the first Latina owned candle brand at Nordstrom.
That's amazing. Okay. All right. So first, let's talk a little bit about your upbringing and what inspired you to create candle scents that represent the Latino household. Obviously, it doesn't exist, but what inspired you, like from the core, to create something like this?
Well, like you said, my candles are a form of self-care for me. I was extremely burned out working in the corporate world, and I always lit candles when I came home, when I was getting ready for work. But then I was also coming into my Latinidad in my young adulthood and in college. But when the pandemic hit, I was connecting with a lot of Latinas online, and I wanted to start a business. And I found that there were no fragrances, no candles, no scents in the home fragrance industry that really represented me. And I want to be able to experience home wherever I go. Coming home and making candles in my kitchen was really therapeutic for me, but I also really believe that we need to have representation in products, to see ourselves in products, and that our unique experiences are worthy of the market. You know, there are 64 million Latinos in the United States, but how many Latin candle brands can you name? We're seeing, Mary Merlot, the lavender lemonades of the world, but where are the scents for Latinos?
Yeah, no, it's a point made and point taken. And trust me, you're preaching to the choir over here. So I'm really glad to hear this movement is really moving into other respective fields as well. And that being said, I do have to ask, how did you learn how to make candles?
I made candles. I started online. I started going into YouTube videos. So many people are picking up hobbies. On TikTok, I was on Candle Talk, Facebook groups, and just diving into online research on how to make candles. YouTube videos, like I learned how to do my hair on YouTube growing up. So I knew that I would be able to learn how to make candles, and then reaching out to other candle makers in the industry to be able to learn how to really perfect my craft.
Wow, so you're self-taught.
I am.
And so now let's talk about the scents, because they're specific, right? I named a few, but let's talk about all the scents and how you were able to develop the formula to even produce the scent.
Well, I really took a lot of the fragrances that I already knew and started to bring in my Latina flavor. So when it came down to Lavender Fabulosa, for example, I needed to make sure that it smelled clean lavender and really get the scent right using Fabuloso in everyday cleaning products. And I also, not in the background here, but we have a coquito candle, and that is a huge staple. to Latino culture during the holidays. Like every New Yorker and Puerto Rican is absolutely obsessed with coquito, as far as I know.
Yeah,
And
I can
when
vouch
I'm
for
developing
vouch for-
when I'm developing fragrances, I take the notes and the ingredients from, places that I know. Coquito is a spiked coconut eggnog. So the majority of the ingredients are coconut, cinnamon, clove, like anything like you can think of when it comes to like baking, for example. So it's like when you're creating a product like a candle, it's very similar to the baking experience where you're just mixing different kinds of oils to get the formula that you're looking for and to get the scent that you want.
Oh, well, thanks for that tip. That's a
Yeah.
really helpful tip. I mean, pero fabulosa. I mean, that's not something that you bake.
Everybody knows the scent. Like you got to listen to salsa or cumbia in the morning, just waking up to the huge stereo sound.
It's true. It's true. That's a Latino trait. I mean, and so what are the other scents you have?
So we have at least 10 scents in our signature collection, along with other seasonal scents. So we have strawberry dulce that is reminiscent of abuelita's little, strawberry candy. We have coquito, we have abuela's bakery, we have Spanish moss, which is an ode to Mexico and the moss that is grown there. And it's also really reminiscent of the United States as well. So one thing about my brand is that we're also, elevating Latino culture in the United States. So making sure that we have the experience of that kind of gray area, the no soy ni de aquí ni de allá, though I'm not here nor from there experience. So a lot of my fragrances really are reminiscent of, one's homeland while living in the United States. So other fragrances can be, mojito criollo. There's
También, you have mojito criollo.
Exactly. So there are so many kinds of experiences that we're having. And recently I've been crowdfunding since we're in huge retail demand. And we have some limited edition candles like horchata, churro, agua fresca is another big one, tres leches. These are all candles that are in development or have launched already, exclusive. And we're continuing to work with now a new fragrance manufacturer to create even more scents that are reminiscent of our experiences.
Oh my gosh. I was sitting here with a big smile because you're making me hungry and thirsty.
100%. So many of our fragrances are based on food and beverage, let me tell you.
So, you also mentioned coming from a corporate background. So I'm very curious to know how you landed this account with Nordstrom. I mean, that's a really big deal to have that kind of client at such a quick, like at the beginning stages of your development.
100%. I have to give such a huge shout out to my education in communications. So when I first started the brand, I knew that I needed, some brand trustworthiness. And the first thing I did was go to the press and tell them my story. So getting features last year in GMA, Cosmopolitan, ABC7 Eyewitness News, and a bunch of other national and local press outlets were able to really pick up my story during last year's Latinx Heritage Month. And that's how the buyer reached out. They found me. They saw my social media, they loved the brand, and they were like, yeah, send us some samples. And then 6 months later, I'm in Nordstrom.
That's amazing. Congratulations on that.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Well, we're really happy to be sharing this with our viewers. So just in time for the holidays, I might
Absolutely.
Okay. So all right, so yes, it's available on Nordstrom. Is it also available on their through their online store?
Yes, so we're all online. 5 of our signature candles are carried at Nordstrom. You can find it in the Nordstrom New York City flagship store, along with their locations in Dallas, Seattle, Chicago, California, and Aventura, Florida.
Well, you are an inspiration to us all. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I mean, it really takes something to just jump like that and land on such a big account.
100%. And I have to say that while I'm the first Latina-owned candle brand in Nordstrom, I hope not to be the last, that this is paving the way for other Latinas and Latinos out in the world who are looking to create businesses and make strides in their various industries as well.
Oh, wonderfully said. And here's to introducing people to our culture too, you know?
100%. Because candles are universal. Everyone can appreciate candles. Americans have this ephemeral feeling of home with scent. And in Latin America, they're really a symbol of divine life. And so the combination of the two with scent and our culture and heritage, it brings in a new experience for the world to appreciate.
Once again, Melissa Gallardo, we are talking everything candles con cultura. Pero wait a minute, before we go, don't you have a big announcement to make?
I do. It's super exciting. I will be participating in the Ulta Beauty Music Accelerator program in its inaugural cohort this fall.
Oh, you heard it here first. I'm open, mi gente. Congratulations once again, Melissa Gallardo, CEO and founder of Bonita Fierce Candles. And if you're interested in learning more, you can visit them at bonitafiercecandles.com. All right, stay tuned because Bobby C's weekly sports roundup is coming up next. Hey, I'd like to invite you, our viewers, to join me at a Latinx Heritage Month celebration on Wednesday, September 21st at the David Rubenstein Atrium at Lincoln Center. Be part of a audience TV recording with guest of honor, actor and writer and Bronxite Sonia Manzano, that's known for her work cavorting with Muppets for more than 40 years as Maria on Sesame Street. And join us for an experience of our neighborhood as Sonia and I discuss her life and legacy with live music presented by Bombayo and live art by Sloan. This Latinx luminary event is free and is taking place on Wednesday, September 21st at 7:30 p.m. at the David Rubenstein Atrium at Lincoln Center, located on Broadway between 62nd and 63rd Street. For more information, call 212-875-5456, or you can visit lincolncenter.org/presents. Hope to see you there. Looking forward to it.
Up next, part 2 with one of the greatest to ever wear the green and white jersey. We'll continue our conversation with Jets legend and current radio analyst, Marty Lyons. But first, we turn our attention to a current player who is back on track and looking to carve up a legendary career of his own, and that's Bronx boy Saquon Barkley of the New York Football Giants. The standout running back is back from injuries, looking healthy, and single-handedly helped the G-Men win in week number 1 of the National Football League season. I know it's early, folks, but what a game, what a performance by Saquon Barkley. We go inside the locker room for more with this Giants star.
Obviously, at the end of the day, I'm excited to get the win, but personally, just got to keep coming in. Something that just keeps sticking with me, what Coach Dave says, just enjoy the process. And that's something that I've been battling in the last 2 years with rehabbing and injuries, and that's been my mindset. So, no matter what, win, loss, tie, I was going to come here with the same mindset and just keep enjoying the process and coming to work every single day, because we had a great week of practice. And no matter what the result was going to be, we can't let that alter what happens this week. So just got to keep grinding and keep leaning on each other.
Barkley looked like peak Penn State Heisman conversation Barkley in week number 1. That was the best that we've seen from him since the college days and his rookie season with the Giants. Welcome back, buddy. You were missed, my friend. So great to see you performing at such a high level. From one Bronx star on the NFL gridiron to one Bronx star carving up the competition on the college gridiron right here in the BX, Fordham's Tim DeMorat continues to shine under center for the Rams out at Rose Hill. The senior quarterback was named the Geico Patriot League Offensive Player of the Week, not once, but twice, 2 weeks in a row for Tim DeMorat. Additionally, he was named the NCAA FCS National Player of the Week. Now, how about that? In a 52-49 win at Monmouth, DeMorat, the Patriot League preseason Offensive Player of the Year, accounted for 6 of the 7 Fordham TDs. He completed 34 of 51 passes for a career-high 452 passing yards and 6 scores. He tied his own school record with the 6 touchdown passes, and in the process becomes the school's all-time leading passer in passing touchdowns with 78. He broke the former mark of 73 set by Kevin Anderson from 2014 to 2017. Nice job, Tim. Here's to hoping for a big football season from the Giants, Rams, and the Jets. Here's the conclusion of our interview with the great humanitarian and former Jet star, Marty Lyons. You've been able to accomplish so many things with your foundation now, 40 years of granting wishes to many kids around the age of 3 to 17 with terminal illness. And the foundation raised over $40 million. How do you feel about being able to give back the way that you have, Mark?
Well, you know what it is, Bobby? It's explaining to people, explaining to sponsors where their money goes, showing them where their money goes, and having them adopt the mission statement of helping terminally ill children or children with a chronic life-threatening illness take their greatest wish in life, make it become a reality. Have them take ownership of that mission. You know, we started in 1982 with only 6 people sitting around the table. Now we operate in 13 states. We've raised, like, as you said, over $40 million. We've helped over 4,200 families. Sometimes it takes a tragedy for people to open up their eyes and realize that we all have a responsibility. We all can create a platform of life. And then once you get on that platform, you really have to find your purpose in life. You know, my platform was playing for the New York Jets. I always thought football was my purpose, but it really wasn't. And in 1982, my oldest son, Rocky, was born on March 4th. My dad suddenly died of a heart attack on March 8th. A little boy that was his big brother named Keith died at the age of 5.5 on March 10th. I struggled to find an answer why the good Lord would go in 6 days. I'm going to take you from the ultimate high and I'm going to take you to the ultimate low. But you have to understand this is life. It's going to happen to every one of us. How are you going to deal with the adversity? Now, my first response was to run, get as far away as I possibly could, because you get tired of people going, hey, man, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Well, there's something that out of something negative came something positive. 6 people created a foundation. I owe a lot of thanks to Kenny Shroy, my former teammate. And then all of a sudden it starts moving. And then all of a sudden, here you are 40 years later going, wow, where did all the time go? And you don't realize where the time has gone until you go, wow, our first recipient would have been 57. Our second recipient, he would have been 46. And you start to add that 40 years to all these kids that got cheated out of life. And then you realize, wow, we've accomplished a great deal, but we got a great deal more to be accomplished. And I need more help from the people that are out there that says, hey, you know what? I want to help. I want to make a difference. I want to make an impact in life, and I want to be a part of it.
Incredible message. And so many of those beautiful photos behind you highlight the many things that you've been able to do with the Marty Lyons Foundation.
Yeah, Bobby, you walk in here with sponsors, it's a reminder that with every child that we've lost, there's a name, there's a face, there's a story. And for those that have survived, there's also the strength and courage that we as healthy people can learn from. So many times I've talked to these kids after they've gone through chemotherapy, they've gone through radiation, they go back to school. I'll call them that night. I'll say, hey, how was school? And they go, well, today I was invisible. And you go, what do you mean you were invisible? They said, well, I sat at the same lunch table, but everybody kind of walked by me. Nobody sat. And you stop and realize that, it's not, nobody's doing it out of spite. Nobody's doing it to be mean. We as adults do the same thing. You see somebody that's different. You see somebody that's in a wheelchair. Rather than going up and saying, hey, how you doing? It's a beautiful day. It might be the only thing, Bobby, that they hear that's good that day. But the more we walk by, the less we're going to know about that individual. And it's another day in their life where they feel invisible.
All right, so powerful. And I know that the foundation, you've got a couple of really great events that you wanted to share with our fans at home coming up, including first ever golf outing and the end of the year gala, which is in November. So tell us a little bit about that before.
Well, Bobby, we just got done with our corporate golf tournament. We had it at Old Westbury. We have another one coming up on Monday at Mutton Town. We have a gala that's coming up in November. We have a Halloween party, costumes, everything coming up in October. We have the Young Professional, which is the group of young men, young women, somewhere between the age of 23 to 30. That it's going to be that next generation that when we get ready to pass the torch, they're going to be able to take over. They're going to have their annual turkey bowl. So we constantly try to raise as much money as we can, because in reality, the more money we raise, the more kids we can help.
And everyone can engage at home with your website, martylyonsfoundation.org.
True. You can go on there. You can read about the upcoming events. You can also make a donation online, or if you just want to write us a letter saying, hey, you know what? Maybe I don't have any money or any money I can donate, but I have time. Time is the only thing we can't replace. I've always told people you can always make more money, but you can't make more time. And what we try to do is preserve the time that these families have left with their loved ones, make it special so that God forbid that child may pass away. We've been able to create hope, and we're able to create memories for the families to hold on to.
All right, thank you so much for the work that you're doing, for spending some time with us here this morning. And here's to hoping that the Jets can make the playoffs here this year.
Be optimistic. Yeah, I think the Jet fans, they have to say, why not us this year? More importantly, it's easy for you and I to believe. Those 53 players have to believe. And if they believe, then anything is possible.
Cheers to that, Marty. Thank you again for spending time with us this morning.
You got it, Bobby. Stay well. Thank you.
We built a media network for you.
BronxNet TV.
Come learn in your new state-of-the-art studios at Lehman College.
At Mercy College.
And coming soon to the South Bronx in the Hub.
Inspire with your stories, culture, history.
Your Bronx on BronxNet.
Engage with us.
Connect with us at your channels and at BronxNet.tv.
Learn, engage, inspire. BronxNet TV.
From the Bronx
To the world.
BronxNet.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to Open Hybrid. Our last guest has been exploring her dance for over 10 years, using her unique blend of dance influences and Korean elements to express her creativity and passion with a strong foundation in street dance and contemporary dance. Her dance has evolved with a focus on waving and animation dances, and she's appeared in numerous commercials such as Puma, Foot Action, and Nike X, Nordstrom, and well, she's here to share more. Please welcome dancer, model, and movement artist, Haze Kim. Hello and welcome.
Hi. Hi, thank you for having me. I'm so excited for the interview today.
Yeah, we're looking forward to learning more about your evolution. It's very fascinating. So, when did you first begin dancing? And what inspired you to even choose the genre that you started with?
Yeah, so I'm originally from South Korea, and throughout my teenager years, I danced the whole years with mostly K-pop and choreography. But I started ballet and jazz when I was young, 5, 6 years old. So I still had those techniques. And then I started training professionally when I was 17 years old with hip hop and choreography. Yeah, so that's when I started training, taking classes. Yeah, and then I moved to New York 5 years ago. Yeah, and in New York, my style has evolved with popping, animation and waving dance style.
Yeah, I wanted you to elaborate a little more on that because I'm not familiar with those terms of waving and animation. What exactly does that mean?
Yeah, so a lot of these techniques are used in popping dance. So when it comes to animation, basically, when you look at the animation characters, when there was no not enough technology, when you see the characters, it looks very laggy, right? So that's animation dance. That's it's from those characters. It's
inspired by their movements, is what you're saying.
Yeah. And the waving, basically waving. Yeah, it's waving. I love waving techniques. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I get it. I just wanted you to explain because it's new to me. I've never heard the term animation dance, right?
Yeah.
And by the way, I have a 13-year-old who's totally into K-pop. So so it's very interesting to see the fusion.
Yeah. So actually, when I started popping dance, that's how I started training animation technique and waving technique because it's also used in popping. But I figured out these techniques I really liked, so I started digging into more. So I just explain my style with that style specifically because I really love this style.
So and you do it very well, and you do it in a way that is it's raw and elegant at the same time. Yeah. I was actually mesmerized watching you and your partner, which we're going to talk about in a bit. I don't want to get into speaking about your dance partner just yet, because I still want to also learn more about your modeling career and how becoming a model, how you maybe gotten cast in certain things based on your dance abilities or vice versa. So which serves the other more?
Both modeling and dancing, it has a similarity because I have to perform physically. I have to express myself on the set in front of camera, and there are many people like staring at me. So like both they built my confidence and also made me more comfortable being just like who I am and being more expressive on the set and in front of many people. I started dancing for brands before like doing modeling. Like there were some jobs that I got casted as a dancer, but like on the set they didn't let me dance. Like they didn't actually give me the like dance shots. So like I ended up doing just like promoting the brands and something. So that's how I really like started modeling. Like I thought I was casted as a dancer, but okay, today I'm not dancing, so like I'm being a model. So I like just like try, like I figured out. Yeah.
All right. So in your evolution of fusing dance with modeling, when did you discover your partner, right? You have a dance duo group called Yawa, which I also would love to know what the word Yawa means as well.
So Yawa means, when you translate it in Korean, it means a wildflower. And my dance partner, Grace, she's also from Korea, and we met in Korea, but we were not like close to each other. We just kind of knew from dance community. And then after Grace moved to New York, we reconnected. And then at the time, I really liked her style, like dance style. Her dance style is contemporary dance. And because we had this connection, just like we are both Korean and we have some music, like similar music taste, and you just like when you meet the person, you see the vibe, and then we just got along. Yeah. So we kind of started just like practicing and rehearsing, like making pieces together, and we didn't really expect anything, didn't expect to start a dance team. But as we just kept making, or as we hung out more, we felt more connection to each other, even though we have different dance background. So that's when we like decided to start a dance team and actually like make a Instagram account, and maybe we can perform in the future. That was our plan. Yeah. And when we discussed about the dance team name, I really liked the fact that we are both from different country, and we are in New York City, where like it's like very raw, and you never like know what's gonna happen. There are so many like different things compared to Korea. Yeah, so we just kind of felt like we are like wildflowers, like we are like trying to survive, and we are not settled. So yeah, and also I wanted to use a Korean word so that it's more like it's recognized. Yeah.
So that it means something to you, and so that you're also allowing people you're inviting them into your world as well.
Yes. So that's how we started and named our dance team as Yawa. Yeah,
it's beautiful. I saw some videos of you ladies dancing at I think it was the New York Fashion Show.
Yes. Yeah, this year we performed at New York Fashion Week. Yeah, for private policy runway. It was our first like actual like show that we performed. So yeah, it was really great.
Yeah, and I found that to be very mesmerizing, very soothing, soothing, both of you, right? Because you both dance different styles, but somehow you can relate to each other in a way that it's fluid. Thank you for giving us a breakdown on Yawa and basically defining it for us, or translating it, I should say, to English. Wildflower, I could relate to that too. I understand. and And so before we go, what are we going to be looking at? Because I know we have this wonderful video of you dancing on a roof, no less.
Yeah, so that's Tom Misch is one of my favorite artists, and I really like his music. And when I listen to his music, I feel like it's comforting me. And specifically that music, it runs through me. I really liked it, and then I remember listening to that music at his live concert. And during pandemic, I didn't have like performance. I didn't have like jobs, so I was a bit depressed during COVID because I was always dancing with other people, and I listened to a lot of music. And one day I had an idea that I want to make a dance video or dance film with Tom Misch music. So I was thinking like what kind of music dance video I can make, because I didn't want to make just dance freestyle like 1 minute video for Instagram. So I was thinking about my situation during that time. I was home like every day and I felt too lazy. I was a bit depressed. Like sometimes I didn't want to do anything.
Right.
So when you see the video, it's basically me like waking up and doing stuff like cleaning stuff and like dancing. It's like our daily lives. So I wanted to like bring out those with that music. Yeah, so that's how I made the dance video.
That dance video, and thank you for sharing that. And you guys, that is Haze Kim. She just gave us a little introduction to what you guys are going to experience when we return. Don't go anywhere, because she's going to be performing It Runs Through Me on the roof of a building in New York with New York's background that you don't want to miss. So don't go anywhere. Hey everyone, welcome back to Open. Here now to perform It Runs Through Me. Let's give it up for Haze Kim.
1, 2, 3, 4. I love the way it flows, I love the way it grows. There's something in this sound that takes me far. It's like a special song, can move my mood along. What I cannot say, you'll hit through my guitar. She told me at the bass line, and everything will be alright. She told me that the groove is mine, it will take us through the night. And where can't take this away from me. The way I hear the melody, the waves bring clarity, running through me. You can't take this away from me. Oh, the way I hear the melody, the waves bring clarity, running through me. I love the way it sings, all the joy that it brings. Remember skating down the road towards the park. I could never say no. You with that summer glow. The music gives me sun when winter starts. She told me at the baseline that everything will be alright. She told me that the beat is mine. It will rock us through the night. And where I go, can't explain, I'll never know. But it's beautiful. You can't take this away from me. Oh, the way I hear the melody, the waves bring clarity, running through me. You can't take this away from me. Oh, the way I hear the melody, the waves bring clarity, running through me. Hey, you can't take this away from me. The way I hear the melody, the waves bring clarity, running through me. Come on, y'all. You can't take this away from me. Oh, the way I hear the melody, the waves bring clarity, running through me. Yeah, it's running through me. Yo, I wear notes like coats, blues like dudes.
Yeah, there's nothing like New York landscaping, right? Dancing on the roof, concrete park. Thank you. That was Haze Kim, everyone. And for more information, you can visit her website at hazekim.com and check her out on IG at HazeIOn. All right, that is our show today, mi gente. Thanks to all our guests for coming through and to you, our viewers, for tuning in. If you missed any part of the show, you can check out the recablecast tonight and 24 hours a day at BronxNet.tv. I'm Rhina Valentin, and from all of us here at Open, may the universe provide paz, prosperity, y amor. Y bueno, mi gente, happy Latinx Heritage Month.